Thanks for tuning in once again to Prime TV for another NASCAR starting lineup edition. This time it's the South Point 400 from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I'm your host, Greg DePalma, and let's get right to it. So, a very strange day today with qualifying and practice at the Speedway in Las Vegas. You know, we said this on Tuesday. Don't forget links in the description of this video. You can check it out. We have always every Tuesday a very detailed look at every race. We go through all the key drivers, early odds, break down all the drivers, key trends, history, all that kind of stuff. So check that out if you haven't seen it before. Also, make sure to subscribe, like, and share. All that stuff really important. But what I'm getting to with what we talked about the other day, which was the fact that here you have a racetrack so far in next gen that has been really dominated by Chevy. I mean, they've really been the strong manufacturer. Ford is a very strong second, very solid second. Toyota has been pretty much just third. They haven't really done a whole lot. They've had some moments, but no wins, and clearly third of the three manufacturers. What we've also said quite a bit on our show on Tuesdays is how crazy it is how things change so much from the first race of the season at one track, same track, several months later, a completely different race, completely different scenario. And that's exactly what we're getting here because Toyota just had a day, and Toyota's never had a day at Las Vegas before like this. So what is that going to hold for us when we race tomorrow? Well, there you go. As you can see it right there before your eyes. Hamlin, Briscoe, Bell, the top three Toyotas. Matter of fact, Toyota, 5 of the top 8 in qualifying. And then check this out. Toyota, 5 of the top 7 in practice and the fastest car in Ty Gibbs. And this is the first practice day that we are just going to let it go. Whatever the practice speeds are, they are. Group 1 was not faster than Group 2, so I'm just not going to go into all of that kind of a projection. So we're just going to go with what we see, and there you go. So Toyota was the fastest manufacturer all day. Chevy was solid, 3 of the top 6 in qualifying, 2 of the top 6 in practice. 2 of the top 3 in practice. Ford, though, I mean, where's Ford? There it is, Buescher. 11th in practice. Where's the first Ford? Give me this. Where's the first Ford in qualifying? There it is. Joey Logano, 9th. I mean, really bad day so far today for Ford. And even though they have 4 wins out of the, 3 out of the 7 in next gen, including the last 2 winners, doesn't look good. I will say this. Remember, Joey Logano several years ago, trying to remember exactly when that was. I'm going to pop it up here with some, not that you'll see it, but I just got to check my notes here. But Joey Logano stole the race in, actually, now that I'm thinking about it with my notes, now that I'm looking at it, stole the race last year. This very race, he stole it. How did he steal it? Ford did not have a car in the top 9 in practice. They had no cars in the top 11 no top cars in the top 9 in qualifying. Did not have a car in the top 11 in practice. And in the race, they only had 1 car in the top 9 and led only 10 laps. And Joe Logano won the race for Ford, leading 6 laps. So does this kind of look eerily similar? So I wouldn't, and look at Joey Logano sitting there in 9th. You know what he started out last year? 10th. His practice speed last year was 30th. His practice speed last year. You know what it was this time around? 28th. That seems a little ironic, maybe eerie. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. What does that say? Definitely take Joey Logano and even Ryan Blaney, because we know Ryan Blaney has what it takes to have a slow Saturday and put it all together on Sunday. Okay, so there you go. Let's go through this now. Here's another thing that's very strange because it hasn't happened all year. Normally, you get about an average of 5 to 6. 7 is the absolute high mark, where if a car finishes in the top 10 in qualifying, they finish in the top 10 in practice. That, again, average about 5, high mark 7. And if that 7, once a year, 9 cars that qualified in the top 10 in practice to start the day ended up in the top 10 to end the day in qualifying. 9. So you get to see all these cars here? They're all the same cars basically here. So the only driver that did not fit the top 10 in both was the one I just mentioned, Joey Logano. That's it. Joey Logano was the only one. And Ross Chastain was the fill-in. He had the 8th fastest car. So here's practice. I'm going to show you all the other cars here. And there are some other cars outside the top 10, even though, remember, the cutoff line is right here if you want to just take a look at trends in next gen. What I mean by that is that not only have 6 of the last 7 started in the, 6 of the 7 next gen winners started in the top 10, including 6 straight. The farthest is 13th, and it was Alex Bowman, who's 12th. So really, I guess you can put it here, but I'm actually going to put it, no, not there. This is practice, actually. So let's just go through this while I'm doing this first. But I'm going to get to the qualifying line and show you there. Let's just run through the practice. There's Blaney, 17th. Some of these that were I thought were a little bit disappointing. Daniel Suarez, 18th. I expected him to be faster. There's Logano. Josh Berry. What happened to Josh Berry today? Josh Berry, the winner of the race, was at a great car earlier this year. Nowhere to be found today. All right, now here's the cutoff point. Now I'm going to put it here because it should be 13th, but Ryan Blaney's 14th. So I'll put it at 14th. What do I mean by that is pretty much the winner's going to be here, more than likely, from what I saw today. I mean, come on. 9 out of 10 drivers in the top 10 in both sessions, and a lot of them, look at them. Let's see, how many of them? You've got playoff. We got 2, 4, 6, 7 of them were playoff drivers. 8 Blaney through the 14. The only 2, actually, there's only 8 left. So crazy, huh? 7 of the 8 playoff drivers, there's the rest of the field. 7 of the 8 playoff drivers are in the top 10 in qualifying and practice. How crazy is that? So all of the playoff drivers, except Ryan Blaney, each of them had themselves a day. But if there was a driver who could sit outside the top 10 and still be okay in both sessions and win, it's Ryan Blaney. So really, what it means is this race is going to be crazy tomorrow. And I don't think that just because Denny Hamlin's on the pole that means it's going to guarantee him a win, because no pole sitter has won at Las Vegas since 2009. All right. So, and again, it's just weird to see Toyota at Las Vegas in the top 3. And look, like I said, they've had some moments where they have looked good at Vegas over next gen. It just has never looked this good all day. And again, even if they had a good day on a weekend, they never were able to translate that to the race. So it's one or the other. Let me just quickly see if I notice anything, keeping in mind the spring race. Actually, let me get this up here. Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay. The spring race, Ford. Check this out. In the spring race, Ford had 6 of the top 12 in qualifying, but only 1 of the top 9 in practice. Yet 3 of the top 6 in the race, including the winner, Josh Berry, leading, and Ford led over 100 laps. Chevy had a really good day, as they often do here. And Toyota, get this, Toyota earlier this year, 1 of the top 12 in qualifying. 1 of the top 12. 2 of the top 12 in practice. And then they pull this off. They had no drivers in the top 11 in the race earlier this year. And even they did lead 55 laps in total. But then again, everybody led a lap, it seemed, earlier this year at Las Vegas. It was crazy. So it's just a difference between, once they get data at a racetrack, it's amazing what these crew chiefs can do, what these engineers can do to figure out how to make things right. All right. So let's see if Toyota's ever had a day like this. I'm just running through This race 2 years ago, they had 4 of the top 8, including the pole sitter, 4 of the top 10 in practice, but in the race, they had just 1 of the top 7. They did a combined 93 laps. So that was a really good day Saturday for Toyota. It might have been their best. Yeah, that was their best. So that's the best day they've ever had in next gen on a Saturday. And it was not as good as today, but it was good. And again, it didn't translate though. So you got to keep that in mind. It just hasn't translated so far for Toyota. Okay. So let's get right through this quickly. So what are we going to do here? We have Hamlin and Briscoe and Bell. And Bell was 5-1. Hamlin was 6-1. So you're not going to make any money there. Briscoe, meanwhile, was 11-1. The only thing with Briscoe is that remember he with his new team, he did not do well earlier this year, and he's never done well here before his new team. So it's really hard to think to take him. And don't forget to check out your Kansas stats this year. We went over it on Tuesday. Link in the description of that video because that's the most similar track to Las Vegas. And Briscoe actually had a pretty good showing at Kansas, finishing 4th in both races. He also swept Las Vegas in the Xfinity Series in 2020. So he has had success at this track, just was in the Xfinity Series. He's had a really good playoff run. And I look at the difference between Bell and Hamlin and Briscoe. Remember, Bell's never won a race here, and he has 6 top 10 starts, including 3 poles out of 7 races at Las Vegas. So this is natural for Chris Bell to get up to these starts. He gets up to great starts here. But the fact of the matter is that's only resulted in 3 top 5s, a couple of runner-ups, and he's led 248 laps overall in his career. So keep that in mind too. 12th this year, 2nd in this race last year from the pole at 155 laps. But again, no value for Bell. The good news about Bell is averaging 4th in his last 5 playoff races. So he is really starting to peak at the right moment, and that's why it's really tough to figure out. Hamlin, meanwhile, has not really raced well here at all in the next gen. 1 top 5 out of 7. That's it. He was 2nd 2 weeks ago at Kansas. It was his best playoff race outside the win at Gateway. He led 159 laps, so that's promising. A lot of the same setup you would think, and so maybe that's why Denny Hamlin looks pretty good. And like I said, Briscoe also looks good. I just think, to tell you the truth, there's not much separating those 3. And if I'm going to get almost double the money on Briscoe, I might just go that route. But if I'm going to go which one of these 3 am I going to take in order, tell you the truth, I think I'm going to go Bell, Briscoe, and Hamlin. I think that's the way I'm going to go. But I mean, by the very minute, don't, you got enough information. You know what to do for yourself. I'm sure we can ask 15 to 100 people, 100 fans, and we get 100 different answers. Okay. I don't think that's mathematically possible, but you know what I mean. All right. So also, who else looks good inside the top 10? Let's see. We've got Elliott, Byron, and Larson. So now we've got the Hendrick team, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Okay. So what did we learn here from the Hendrick team? Well, Larson, remember, he was the odds-on favorite to start, but he hasn't won in a while. Okay. So you got to keep that in mind. But he did end up as my top pick on Tuesday. And so I am going to go all in on Larson. And I just want to get good odds, though. And I think he should. Because of Hamlin and Bell being ahead of him, I think the odds should now stay the same. 5-1. So in other words, Larson's not going to be with 3-1. So I think I'm still going to be able to get Larson at 5-1, or you will if you haven't wagered on him yet. And I still think that's a good odd. I think look, here's the deal. In my mind, the way Larson's going, if he doesn't win this race, or at least have a really good day, and then just, misses out, but it's a promising day. But most importantly, I think he really has to win because it's time now. The trend says it's time. It's time to win. You've been getting better each race lately. Now it's either win. Usually when you do this, it's either you take the next step and win, or that's your peak, and now you start going back again. So this is the race of the year for Larson. And I know it's kind of 4 races, but still, it's the race of the year for Larson. I really think if he does not win this race, or at least finish 2nd and have a really good day, I think he's in serious trouble. But I still like Larson. As far as Elliott and Bryant, Elliott's got the better odds at 11-1. Keep in mind, he's never won here before. But 2 weeks ago at Kansas, he did win. So remember that race, and that's important. And then you also have Byron. And if you look at Byron, his odds a little bit lower at 9-1 to start today. He had a very good car in the spring. He won this race, leading 176 laps in 2023. But keep this in mind: he's got a 4.8 starting position average in his last 6 races here. Here now, it's right about. I mean, look at that. You couldn't have pegged it any better. 4.6 now 5th, and that's only translated to 1 win though. So he's very good overall in setting himself up and having a good day at Vegas, but he does only have one really big day. And remember, he's also not as hot as some of these other drivers come playoff time. So I don't know. I'm probably not going to go with Byron. I've got other options here. So with this run, as far as these 3, it's Larson, Elliott, and Byron. And then you got Wallace, Reddick. They're both out of the playoffs. They're driving Toyotas. As far as those drivers, Reddick has never really had a good go of it here at Las Vegas. Just one career top 5, and Wallace, of course, is coming off a very disappointing way to end his playoff run last week. I think that will definitely hurt him. He's also only got one top 5 in his career here, so not really interested in either one of those drivers. But I would definitely take Logano. We started off with that. Absolutely do that. Gibbs, as you saw, was fastest in practice. Now, you take a look at his career here at Vegas, though, and in the Cup Series, he has raced 6 times in the next gen, just one top 5. And he was not good earlier this year, and he was not good in this race last year. He's got an average start of 13.2 and an average finish of 22.5. The average start obviously will go up, but I just don't know. I'm not really concerned. And remember, practice does not mean anything compared to qualifying at Las Vegas. Even the last 2 winners have actually, if you look at the stats, the last 2 winners finished 32nd best in practice and 30th best in practice. So that's telling you right there, practice does not mean as much as qualifying does here at the track. Buescher and Bowman are probably not the worst ideas in the world as far as some nice long shots right outside the top 10. I think they were pretty decent long shot looks before the race. Bowman, don't forget, won in 2022, and he has 3 top 5s out of 6 next gen races. He was also 5th at Kansas in May, 7th this year, 5th in this race last year, and a good race in the spring. It's just a pit stop. Something happened. He had pit stop issues. It really screwed him up. So I think Bowman's a nice play. He was 35-1. Maybe the best long shot in the group, and Buescher also a really solid long shot because he was 4th last week. That gets him going a little bit confidence-wise. You're also getting a big number on him, but Ford has been so slow. Probably not going to go with Buescher. So definitely, though, going to go with Bowman as one of the top, if not the top, long shot in the field because pretty much it looks like it's going to be down to Hamlin, Briscoe, Bell, Elliott, Byron, Larson, the top 6. Then you got Logano, and then I'd say Bowman and Blaney. I think that's it. I think Chastain, I think you have to give him a shot, though, overall, because Chastain has been excellent here. 6 top 10s, 5 top 5s, a runner-up in 7 next-gen races with an average of 5.4. And his average starting position is 13.2. And where's he starting? 13.2. Where's he starting? 15th. How about that, huh? So Ross Chastain knows how to advance here when he starts where he starts. And you know he's going to be motivated. He had a really good spring race. So that's why I was a little bit surprised that Suarez didn't have a good day today because Chastain and Suarez very good here in the spring. So Chastain also, what was Chastain's odds? They were 14-1. I think you're going to get probably better than that now. Because all these other drivers are going to be gobbling up odds. So that's where I'd go. I'd go Chastain. And look, I'd still probably look a little bit at Suarez just because keeping in mind that CJ's top picks the other day were Bell, Logano, and Cindric. Cindric did not have a good day overall. My top plays were Larson, Berry, and Suarez. Berry and Suarez have not had good days, obviously. I'm sure CJ feels real good about Bell and Logano. I feel real good about Larson. But again, if I'm just taking a look to wrap things up about what I saw today and what I would do today, I'm sticking with Larson as the number one play. And I'd probably agree I have to throw a Toyota in there with the day they had. So I'd go with Bell. So I'd go with our original picks, Larson and Bell, as the two drivers to beat. I think Logano's odds, just to remember, they was 10-1. So I think you're going to get solid odds in Logano. So I think Logano is also I think he has to be in there. So that would be my top three for today. And then I'm throwing in Bowman as a really nice long shot. I think Chastain should be a really good sleeper. Suarez will be a deep long shot. Throw a couple of bucks on him. And there you go. And of course, my boy Blaney, as I said, did not have a really good day. And I can't really look at Blaney unless you're going to give me double-digit odds. We said this the other day. 8-1 was asking a little too much. He's never won here. He does have 6 top 5s in his career, but he had a better go at it before next gen. He hasn't been good next gen so far, with just 1 top 5 and an average of 21.8. And he's only led 4 laps in his last 5. Matter of fact, this year he was 35th. Last year he was 32nd. He started 36th and 37th in those races. So, hey, he's probably feeling real good starting up front, or at least that's the way it looks, starting 14th. So, yeah, I still think, of course, Ryan Blaney is always going to be a nice driver to take if you're getting decent odds. Unfortunately, I still don't think you're going to get decent odds. But if you can get decent odds, don't count Ryan Blaney out. All right, so that's going to wrap it up. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, please let me know. I'll be sure to respond in the comment section. Again, subscribe to the channel. You can also hit the thanks icon if you want to donate to the channel. We really appreciate that. We provide all of this information to you for free, and hopefully you're able to benefit from it, either as a fan, fantasy, or financially. We'll be back again on Tuesday as we talk more about the playoffs. We enter Talladega week. Should be a lot of fun. And we'll wrap up, of course, which could be an exciting day in Las Vegas on Sunday. Looking forward to it. Thanks for tuning in here to Proline TV, everybody, and we'll see you again next time.